Day 2. We didn't mess this up. Let's find out. Okay, that works. Okay. We can see what's going on now. That's great. Alright. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope they're doing well. We are doing more art. More art. Art. Yeah, more art. What is our art about? We are making art for Drachenfest. And so we are doing more art as kind of examples for Drachenfest. For examples of scrolls and things like that. So it's just a lot of fun. Just enjoying it. So, art streams. I'm all about it. We're drinking water, doing art, answering questions. Listening to Streets of Rage in the meantime. We use Faber-Castell pens, so we're using lots of pens. My Faber-Castell or Faber-Castell collection. Not a sponsor. Hashtag not a sponsor. Wish they were. Because then I get them for free. I'd be all about it. But hashtag not a sponsor. So we did do some art off stream. If you missed it, we did. Let's get turn that off. So we did this off stream. It's very pretty. I think that's pretty much how I would do it as far as the piece of art is concerned. I would probably spend more time on it if it was required, but it feels finished to me. And that's the healing touch spell. So I'm gonna come up with some healing touch words and put that there and be done with it. So it's good. No complaints. So how do we do our art? We use a light box. I am going to be ordering a a battery operated light box. It needs to be charged every day. And that's what I'll be using at Drachenfest. And then I use basically paper, just like this. I use Bristol vellum paper, more specifically. And I make my art, or I get my art from other sources. I make sure it's black and white, and then I print it, tape it, and that's it. And I try to section it off so that it is available for people to do. If somebody wants commissions, feel free to PM me. Let me know. I've had some people ask me for commissions recently, and I'm interested in doing them. Just let me know. I am available. Just shoot me a message. But we're gonna work on this, and then we're gonna work on new art, and then we're gonna work on that's it. We might work on this a little bit as well to get the outside. I don't necessarily think it's necessary. I think that it looks very good the way it is without the outside. But a more powerful, maybe maybe a more powerful Dispel Magic winds up having the stuff on the outside. I don't know. I don't know. Drachenfest is very timey-wimey when it comes to the requirements of stuff. You know what I mean? And there's new spells that we don't even know about. So, who knows? Right? So. Alright, so we're going to use a fine pen for the words for the bottom of this. And then we're going to do... Let's see... Do the same thing, but for healing. Touch. Manum Super Vonu Posoi E Dolor Resuscite Sob Vertu Healing Touch. All right. Let's get some jazz. That's better. Let's get some jazz in. Like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a half an hour drawing. Let's see if we can do that. On friendship. So it's 418, where our limit is 448. Let's see what we can do. Or 419. I'm just kind of examining this at first to see how we want to do this. Let's see how we want to do this. Right. Let's get started on this bad boy. $4.19. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking at his hair. It's a lot. I mean, he's got a lot of hair in this area, so we're trying to make it look like it makes sense where the hair is and where it's going. I feel like the hair is going to be the hardest part. This is the type of piece that's not going to look like it's come together until after we've pretty much almost finished. And it's going to look like it makes sense. But temporarily, it's going to look like a fucking train wreck. So. And that's okay. Hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a minute. Just trying to get my drawing on, doing a lot of preparation for the Drachenfest. The Drachenfest. Get these eyebrows in. One mistake that a lot of artists do make when they're doing black and white pen work is that they go too broad on the pen work at first. Be smart. Do a low amount of pen work at first, and then you could always go back to it later. Unless you feel really confident on where the pen work is. If you feel confident, then feel free to put your lines in. But if you don't feel confident and you think it needs to be touched up later on, just be smart about it. And just don't put a ton of pen work in so that you can essentially fix it later. Even I do that. I'll only put in so much pen work. And then later on, if I think it needs touching up, especially with noses. I wouldn't say I always mess up noses, but I'm kind of bad at it. That's one of the benefits of digital versus pen. Pen, you really have no easy way to make mistakes. You screw up, you screw up. But you want everything to look natural. A cooler month, yeah. I mean, that's the month that they do it, so unfortunately. Honestly, if the weather holds out, it shouldn't be that hot. I'll take a mid-80s Drachenfest any day. touch up the hair a little bit more so that there's no gaps, or we can see doesn't feel gappy. Turn this off and look at it. Looks pretty good so far, actually. Like I said, this is going to be one of those where, like, it doesn't look right until we're completely done. And we may not even make the second one. We may only make the first one, the first side. But we'll see. We're doing some precise dot work here to give him some shading. That way he has a bit more color and he pops out from the paper. These are precise dots. I'm looking at the paper and I'm making sure that there's not too many and not too few. And I'm looking at spaces and seeing where I can insert dots where there's space. Pony Spa Day, that's pretty cool. We'll have fun. I will be here. I'm gonna be probably streaming for around 3 to 4 hours today on the art stream. Enjoying some jazz and doing some art. Getting our practice on. So one thing that we are looking at here, we need to bold up our lines. Whenever you add dot work like this, you want to bold up your lines so that they are distinct. That way you are getting more shade, getting more for less, basically. So we will be taking a look at that, like this right here. Giving ourselves some more shading. You want to be careful. It's kind of a nice and slow process in doing that shading, doing that bolding. If you do too much, then it doesn't look natural. But if you do it enough, then it feels natural and doesn't look superficial. Kind of a delicate process. I don't like changing pens. I have a habit of not changing pens. But this would be the point where maybe you switch to a smaller pen. This is a .005, so it's pretty much the smallest that's available. But you could potentially switch to a smaller pen at this point. We're giving our chin some more depth. Giving the ear a bit more. Ear was pretty bolded as is, so it's okay. Now when we look around the ear, we see that the hair doesn't really get to the ear. And with the hair, when we're doing those brush strokes with the hair, we're doing very light touch work. If you don't do light touch work, then the pen work is going to look too bolded. It's going to blend in with the face too much, so it's not going to be great. Alright, no worries. Did a pen and pig still life? Might have them floating around my portfolio. Yeah. I've been mainly learning from YouTube tutorials, YouTube videos. They've been a lot of fun. And practice. Practice, practice, practice. Give him a bit more dotting. Okay. Ooh. So this is what we have. We turn this off. Pretty cool. Very realistic. Feels very good. Shading is good. So we're going to start working on the clothing now. We gave ourselves a half an hour for this particular project because we don't know the scroll requirements, what the timing requirements are for making scrolls. So we started at 4:19, so 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, so we've spent 14 minutes so far. And we still have the body left to do for this particular piece. And then from there, we can go from there. And then we can even make the second half if we feel like a scroll requires an hour instead of 30 minutes. But there will be a time requirement. We don't know what it is yet because it's weird. Like the rules for Drachenfest are kind of timey-wimey. So we don't particularly know what the exact details are as far as the rules for scroll work. But we are making ourselves, every sheet of paper is going to essentially be a scroll, unless somebody wants a big work of art, which we can always do a big work of art for somebody as well. Maybe it's a more powerful scroll, maybe it has special rules for that spell, who knows. But there are spells that are in the game that aren't even on the character sheet that's available, and all this crazy stuff. So yeah, it's cool. But it's interesting. I think the allure is that it's supposed to be a bit of a mystery. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I don't know what else I'm doing today. Tomorrow, Path of Exile comes out with all the information about their new expansion. And then this weekend, I'm pretty busy. This Saturday, I'm going to one of my good friend's son's birthday parties. And then this Sunday is two people that are getting married. I am invited. It's a SCA thing that's going on. So we will be going to those. But I'm trying to get in as much practice as I can, and I have to place an order on Amazon for the stuff that I need for all of this as well. So we will see. So I'm practicing straight line shading, so we're going to do some straight line shading. Nice. That is a smart plan. So how we're going to do this... How we're going to do the shading is that we're going to create a bunch of bold shades, and then we're going to dot the rest of it. So we'll do bolds on certain things, and then dots in the rest of it. I actually think that this is a bit too thin at this point to do all of that. So we're going to shift to a 0.3, I think. Let me just take a look at the tip. Yeah, I'm going to shift to a 0.3. Oh, no. That is a bit too thick. An SB? No, definitely not an SB. There's one of these. Maybe the extra small. Yeah, 0.1. Yeah, this is what I want. The 0.1. Much better. With a 0.1, you can fill things in as you draw. With a 0.005, you cannot do that. It is mostly all line work. So we are going to do that. The other thing that's important that people don't tell you is that you need to make sure that you are moving your pen in the right direction, which is pretty interesting. The direction that you actually move your pen and use your pen actually matters significantly. Otherwise, it doesn't look natural. Color. $19, $20, $30, $49. Yeah. So if I wanted to finish this piece on time, I would probably do a haphazard shade job, but I don't want to do that. I think it will defeat the purpose of the piece, and I'm a person who does not like to put out bad art, so we're gonna make it very pretty. That's what we're gonna do. I don't think anybody would ever complain if I was making a scroll for them and it took a little bit more time because I was making it pretty. Honestly. Probably wouldn't work with them again if that was the case. I guess that would be a common question, like asking them if they had any time issues. Are you in a time crunch? No? Okay. Oh, you're not in a time crunch? Good. Well, then I can make you something pretty. Basically how the conversation would go. Some of these lines need a bit more work. I'm gonna do those real quick, make sure they're clean. Mostly clean. Alright, and I think that the rest needs to be shaded. But I think that looks really good, actually. Yeah. So it is really important when we do the shading for the leather armor here that it is a lot darker. So we are working on that right now. This takes the most time. Ba, 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 da, ba. Ta-da. Just doing pitting. Lots and lots of pitting. Just when you thought I was done, I wasn't. 'Cause we're doing lots of pitting. Whew, my pit and hand's getting a little tired, but we have to go on. Make it happen, man. That looks really good so far, actually. Let me show you what that looks like. Pretty sweet. So this is supposed to be a spell called Friendship. So we just have to fill in the sleeve portion here. And it's mostly done. Yeah, looks pretty sweet. I actually really like the shading on that too. Just practicing, I'm practicing like making specific lines or different bold shades versus dotting. Cleaning up the line work a little bit with this. There we go. Just cleaning it up just a little bit. Doing the same amount of dot work up here as well. It is really important that we do more dotting on the items that aren't his face so that we can make a distinct comparison between his face and his armor. Can't like be lazy and just looking at it for a second. We're gonna give him a distinct sleeve, even though the. All right, have fun. Have fun at the barn. We're gonna give him a distinct sleeve. We're gonna ignore this part entirely because I feel like if we don't, it's just gonna be really weird. Small dots there. Strong dots there. That means we'll do small dots here. Clean up the pitting a little bit here. Ooh, that looks really spiced. Wow. That actually looks really good. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Damn. Focus. Pretty good. Really happy with that, actually. A lot happier than... Wow. Actually turned out really, really well. Very sexy. That looks very good. And that was about an hour, actually. That was less than an hour to go ahead and get that all done. Damn. That looks really good. Yeah, that felt really good, actually. Damn. Oh boy. Well, that was a lot of fun to even see that piece like come to life. It was really cool. I think I would do something with the belt. Marker of the belt. Get a 0.1 in to clean the line. Cool. Oh, I like it. All right. Well, I expected that to take more time and it didn't. So, yeah. Let's do keep picking that one. That's not the one I want. Cool. Well, that is the 4-piece series. We have accomplished it. Feels really sexy. Feels pretty cool. Let's get this in a bit better position here. Let's grab this. Ah. Pretty cool. 4 scrolls, technically. Cool. Well, hello. Let's get this back in position. So we're done for today. Fini. Fana. Fini. Fina. Fana. But anyway, we have 4 more that we're going to be making over the course of the next 2 days, and we'll go from there. But I'll make a decision on that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out. Anybody who checks this out, feel free to like, subscribe, all that funny, silly jazz, you know, as we listen to jazz music. But thank you so much for hanging out. Tomorrow, I'm going to be listening to the Path of Exile updates that are going to be coming. And God, we're 10 days away from Path of Exile. No, less than that. We're 1 week and 2 days away. We'll be playing a lot of Path of Exile in the near future. But we're trying to get some drawing done in the meantime, get some practice drawing done, and get some Path of Exile done and all that stuff. So lots of stuff to do. But thanks for hanging. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go chill. So, and move on the rest of